Hello, today I have a message called Simple Behind Its Surface. Beginning with, just as no one has the ability to cause a not good feeling in your experience, you do not have the ability to cause a not good feeling in the experience of anyone you call else. The dream may show us this, may seem to tell us this. It may look very much this way. But if we notice how we feel and we start to delve into this, we have beliefs about the cause of not good feelings. And if we look at how each one of those beliefs feels, we can kind of delve into or drill down into what is actually here for us by setting those beliefs aside. And what I'm reorienting toward today is my true identity abides in you. My true identity, who I really am. It's in you as in you the creator. It's in you as in any you I see, because we're all connected and we're all holy. And there's not a lot the ego can say about that. It just is. And I find the more I can make time to just do nothing and rest in what is, and that might just be by pausing briefly, right? Whatever we're capable of now, we're capable of that now. So maybe just pausing briefly to acknowledge my true identity abides in you. And then something opens, something is remembered, something is acknowledged. And with an open heart, we can be led. Remembering the truth of us, we can be led. Acknowledging what we are, we can be led. But when I'm attached to ideas of my not good feeling is caused by this and such, or the not good feeling I observe over there is caused by this and such, I see more and more I really don't know what I'm talking about. And it's okay. I'm learning to follow. I'm learning to be led. And I do make mistakes. And it is okay, because mistakes are correctable. And that's all that's ever really happened, was a mistake. A mistaken perception that can be corrected. And if that's all I know how to hold on to right now, if I feel disturbed, whatever I'm looking at is a mistaken perception that can be corrected. And beyond all that, I haven't the faintest or the foggiest. That's enough. It's still enough. And I can just rest here in this place. And gradually, specific instructions come to us. And we can follow them. And yes, the ego also gives us specific instructions, and we can follow those. And as we learn to look and to feel, never deny the feeling, and to acknowledge, I'm all mixed up here many times a day. For me, it's many times a day. I'm all mixed up here. I need to reorient. False me can't be in charge. I have no idea what's going on. But my feeling tells me that my perception is mistaken. And what does ego orient me toward doing? Just as much as spirit orients me toward finding my identity and my wholeness and my holiness in my Creator and in you, who are linked inextricably. We're all linked, right? That is the truth of us. And I can receive specific instructions from here. And it's okay if it doesn't feel like 100% yet. It is okay. We're working on it. My ego can also give me specific instructions. And it feels like all I'm supposed to do is feel and look, where I'm not aware. I'm just not, if you're not aware yet, you're not aware. Where I'm not aware that I'm following ego's instructions, feeling is going to tell me today. I'm going to be able to see one more place where I'm in a pretty locked in pattern of finding my safety and following ego's instructions. And today's the day where it suddenly occurs to me, oh, this is totally irrelevant and meaningless, and I no longer follow it. But we don't force it. If we're trying to force it, we're coming from ego. So the things that come from spirit just make everything clear and obvious, and of course that thing falls away. Of course that thing falls away, because it is meaningless. It's irrelevant. But the practice is in the looking and the acknowledging the feeling. We don't want to ignore the feeling because it's the indicator. Hey, I'm not letting myself be led. I am trying to be in charge. As a separate self, it's a very old pattern, but it's one that can be broken up. And it gets broken up as I learn how to rest. And sometimes that orienting toward rest can feel very bewildering and painful for a while, because we're still attached to ego telling us this patterning you have active in your experience keeps you safe. And at the same time, we feel bewildered. We feel a lot of pain. Well, we've cleared so much else out of the way. So now we're clear enough to see, well, what is it I believe that's attached to this painful feeling? Because that's the next bubble to rise up to the top. Now we can see it. Maybe a week ago, we wouldn't have been able to acknowledge or see it. It was just us trying to get our needs met, trying to protect our separate self, trying to find a channel of safety for our separate self. And we can feel where that's still active in us. Something in A Course in Miracles that it's just been in my awareness, is, paraphrasing of course, but when I don't feel good, I'm looking outward and I'm trying to find my sins in something or someone out there, instead of just getting it cleared up in here. And of course that feels disturbing. I have this beauty and this love waiting for me, and instead I'm trying to see a world. It has to have sin being mistaken perception, not true wrongdoing, but ego will tell me it's true wrongdoing, and I see it in anyone out there who seems to be a wrongdoer. That was at my command. I needed to find it out there so I could try to throw it away from in here. The only way to get rid of it, it seemed to me, was to see it out there in the world. But now I can see, oh, there hasn't ever been sin. It's been imagined, and I still seem to be seeing it playing out there in the world. Well, I was wrong. And now that can get corrected. And now my perception can show me the truth. That's how powerful everyone is. But it does seem to require this awareness of, oh, I thrust something out there to try to avoid the pain in here, but there's no avoidance, because when I see it out there, it's painful. It doesn't work. Isn't it funny how we've been doing something that doesn't work for so long? But now we can see my perception's off. My perception's not accurate. And there's something very loving here for me and for everyone, thank goodness, that will simply correct the perception. And as we practice this, our faith builds. And it's okay if you feel like you have no foundation to believe this. As A Course in Miracles says, you don't have to believe the ideas. I don't remember what the rest was. You don't have to believe them. You don't have to judge them, maybe. It's their use. So all you do is use the ideas. You don't have to believe them. You don't have to have faith in them. You just use them, and then you get shown, oh, this is probably the answer to what I'm perceiving, not trying to judge or fix something in the world. And this feels more clear to me than ever. And every single day, I'm still bumping into places where I'm trying to protect and promote or preserve or something this separate self. And so every day I can rest and allow the undoing. And that's finite. That's not forever. What we are is forever. What we seem to need to do to detach from this craziness, it's finite, but it does require our attention. So the suffering, whatever suffers, is not part of me, but it requires my attention. I need to address it. And hey, that's, if I'm having a day, that's what a day is for. I can address that. Okay. Where are we? In being totally connected, you are totally cut off from what isn't real. So what isn't real depends on separation, depends on being totally cut off, right? From everyone and everything. But if we look at the reality of our total connection, what are we totally connected in? Are we totally connected in war? Are we totally connected in strife? Like, we know, you know. What are we totally connected in? We're totally connected in love, in peace, in joy forever. And I may have been denying this pretty hard. My feeling will tell me if I've been denying our connection. It will tell me. I may have been denying this pretty hard. But today I can bump into the denial and take what seems like a piece of the denial, a thought, one thought, and just give myself the relief of setting it down and saying, hey, I could be wrong about this, whatever the thought is. And then turning towards some relief. My true identity abides in you. Oh, here's the reality of us. Here's our connection. I don't know anything about anything, but I can rest here. And from here, something can become obvious to me. And if it's not obvious to me yet, that's okay. We don't have to be harsh or impatient with ourselves or with anyone. We know that's not the way. If something specific doesn't become obvious to me immediately, it's okay. We still took a moment to rest. And this place of rest becomes like home. Not any charge we can get out of strife in the world, right? Not that, not reactivity, which the ego values and judges. It kind of tries to make its home in reactivity. But our home is here in this rest and here in this connection. And if there are things to do and say, they can become obvious to us. But it's okay for a while, for a little while, to do nothing, to say nothing. To just put down your sword and say, I don't know what's going on. But what we are together does. You know, I, as a separate I can't handle this. But what we are together can guide all of us and can guide my perception, can provide my perception 100%. So it's like bumping into tension, stopping and resting, bumping into tension, stopping and resting, and it does feel like over and over and over again. But that's what a day is for. It's for the surrender of what I've been holding on to that is actually not helping me. Let's say I have a great big block of cheese in my lap, and I think this cheese is my best friend and it's my safety. And during the day, Spirit's here, and I give Spirit a little crumb of this cheese, and I feel a little bit less burdened, but I still got a big block of cheese on my lap. And then I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again, and I eventually realize I really don't want this cheese in my lap. But I feel like I don't know how to give Spirit the whole cheese. I don't know how to do it. But look at the block of cheese in my lap. Oh, okay, 25% of it is gone. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Why don't I feel good right now? Can I find a crumb of cheese? Can I give it to Spirit? Yes, I can, because it's simple, it's mechanical. It's repeatable. And my ego mind understands it, and somehow it works. Somehow it works. Knowing how to repeat the very same simple thing. And it's not the mechanical repetition that saves us. It's taking a moment to look at what's beyond. When I give my little crumb of cheese to Spirit, I still got 75% of the block sitting in my lap. If I think this cheese is so valuable, I still have it. It's okay. And Spirit can work with me every day, every minute, every hour. Spirit's here, or you could say Jesus or Yeshua, or however love in non-physical form comes to you and helps you out. It's here for everyone. It's very much here. So we just give little crumbs of cheese away. Maybe one day we pick up the whole block and hand it over. And if that's not today, that's not today, and it's okay. Time can be very kind to us as we learn to give away what we don't need, and as we find this place where we can rest, as we learn to rest there and take our instruction from this place, as we learn to let things become obvious to us. So it's okay, we can go a crumb at a time. Okay. Simplicity is the same everywhere, and everyone and everything is simple behind its surface. So that's been a big theme for me, is the surface may look complex, but it's not up to me to judge any surface. And if there's any stubborn reactivity here, I know what to do with it. But what's behind that surface is very simple. And it can be hard at times to remember that. But having, I don't know if they're daily disciplines you have or periods of time you set aside to come back into this remembrance that simplicity truly is everywhere, but it's under or behind the complexity. So there's something to celebrate no matter where you look. And we can look right through, and it's a practice, right through the complexity that seems to be on the surface of something to the simplicity, and we can rest there and enjoy it and celebrate it. And while all this seems to be happening, as a person, you may seem to be saying less and doing less because you're devoting your energy and your focus to, okay, let me not get confused by a surface, but let me look to what's really here and rest with what's real here. And then if there's something to be done or said, I can be informed. That takes patience, and I don't know if bravery is the right word, but if we're so used to, like when we're in a social situation, I need to react, I need to react, I need to react, I need to be present and react appropriately. But if we take a little more time to look beyond the surface to the simplicity that is shining behind any surface at all, and not pause to judge the surface. Just give thanks for the simplicity that's here. And we rest. And then from this place, here's where the information, I guess that's why A Course in Miracles says, what does it say? The ego always speaks first. It seems to take time to get the instruction to do or to say from the simplicity shining behind everyone and everything without exception. And if this is like a giant classroom, it's okay to take the time to tune into that. And in some situations, all I can hear are ego's loud judgments. And I really feel them. So I got to do that work instead. If I want to have a prayer of seeing and hearing from the simplicity that's shining behind everything without exception, then but I'm feeling really bad. It means I'm really attached to the surface of how something looks, and there's a lot of judgment in my mind that I'm attached to it. And this is where the crumbs of cheese are important. I gotta give crumbs of cheese away and then rest. My true identity abides in you. And then I have a prayer of knowing what to say or do. So it's okay to be not much of a sayer. It's okay to be not much of a doer if we're giving our crumbs of cheese away. Because we don't need this big wheel of cheese in our laps. We never did. Okay. Every little twinge is a signal. So, who likes pain? Raise your hand if you like pain. Pain doesn't feel good, right? Pain does not feel good. And when we feel a little twinge, it's a calling. It's time to give away a crumb of cheese. That's it. And if the ego's saying, I want, and that's painful. I'm not getting, I don't have, and that's painful. We have to give first. We have to give to get. We have to find our crumbs of cheese, or maybe for you it's the whole wheel today. And then you can come back and save me. Thank you. If you give your whole wheel of cheese away today, thank you, because I know that means I do too. And thank you. But if I feel a little twinge, I can at least find one crumb. And I can rest. You practice this enough, and the place you rest gets bigger and more expansive. And you begin to see it as the true dwelling place of everyone and everything you call else. That's where as they truly are, that's where they are, in this place of rest, where we're all connected. And rest isn't death. It's aliveness. It's eternal life. And it's what everyone and everything has together. So when we feel a little twinge, instead of carrying it further and intensifying it, the sooner we stop, the sooner we can find a crumb. And in my experience, there will be times, and this morning was a time like that for me, when the the not good feeling feels so intense and present that I'm thrown for a loop. It happens every time I get reactive to it. I'm like, wait a minute. we what? we were going along well here. What? But I'm just ready to see. I was so attached to my own ways of doing and seeing, and I regarded them as safety. But my previous giving of crumbs of cheese to Spirit has uncovered this attachment. The one I said I'd never allow to be uncovered, it's uncovered today. And that's, in my experience, what happens. And if something else happens in your experience, let me know. Let us learn from each other. So that's what happens. And at first, the feeling feels so big and intense that it's hard to do anything else other than feel. And then, of course, the longer you feel it, the less you want it. You try to escape it. You can't escape it. It's there. Well, it's a blessing. It's a blessing because here is my attachment to what isn't real, and it's fully visible. It's not being hidden, and it's so clear that it's not doing me any favors because it's intensely heavy. It's intensely painful. So, yeah, we need to see this. We need to see where we're clinging to what isn't doing us any favors. And then we can find a crumb of cheese. And then we can give it away and we can rest. And look at that. Now we're giving crumbs of cheese away from this layer that we had no idea was a layer. We thought it was just like my own separate stability, my own normal life, my own separate safety. The thing I would guard and defend against intrusion, right? The thing I would guard and defend against intrusion. Now we're going to work on giving this away. Who's in charge here? Is this a good idea? Like, what? It seems like not a good idea to the ego. But this has to go too. And what comes in its place? Actual safety, actual security. And what comes into view? Our actual connection, our actual innocence and holiness. That becomes easier and easier to see. And as I give up my crumbs of cheese, it becomes easier and easier to rest. And then it becomes easier and easier to hear if there is a doing or saying that is appropriate. It becomes easier to become aware of that and to deliver it. And I often think, should I be talking about this anymore, or should I only be doing it? And I don't know the answer to that. It seems like my blathering on has been very helpful for me, but if I've said this before, if I just disappear one day, nothing bad happened. It's just like I finally got the message. You can just do this. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to inform anybody about it. But honestly, I'm still not sure. There's uncertainty. Here's uncertainty. It means I'm believing something that isn't true. And that's, I don't know what to do. Do I talk about this, or do I not talk about this? So I'm going to give that to Spirit. And I do know from experience things get made obvious. And I can follow that. So if my answer ends up being, no, of course you don't have to talk about it. Just do it. Just be in your day and reorient. Then that's why. That's why. It's because I finally got the message. But if I still show up here, then I still do. And maybe that helps too. Okay, do I have something else? Yes, I do. The ego isn't connected to anyone or anything, but it does make illusions of attachments. And those are my crumbs of cheese too. Illusions of attachments. So, when I feel pain, it's coming from the perception of disconnection. But our reality and heaviness and confusion and uncertainty, all of those things, anger, rage, guilt, I'm perceiving disconnection, and the only reason I could perceive disconnection is because I wanted to. So when I find a crumb of cheese and I give it to Spirit, I am moving away from my desire to see and experience disconnection. And it's okay if I'm seeing and experience disconnection right now. I have to start somewhere. Everyone does. So, wherever we seem to be, it's fully okay. And wherever we seem to be, there is a way to respond to it. And I always get a metaphor that's just so present in the message, and I can't get rid of it. And then as soon as I give the message, it's gone, and I'll probably never talk about the cheese again. But it's time to give away a crumb of cheese. And so that's what I'm going to be working on today. When I feel pain, I've let ego make an illusion of an attachment. And my happiness isn't in an attachment. It isn't in an alliance of my ego with your ego. It's in my genuine connection. And what's my genuine connection to? Everyone and everything. All the time, prior to and beyond space and time. So what's true, what's here for all of us? Our genuine connection. And it's a very simple and loving connection with everyone and everything. So today I will be working on giving away my crumbs of cheese and resting, so my thinking can come from this resting place. My saying can come from this resting place. My doing can come from this resting place. And my perceiving, all of it, can come from this resting place. So, yeah, surrender the cheese and enjoy. Thank you.